Hey guys, what's up? This is Helsing920 and it's time for my second ever reaction and review. Now, some of you actually are probably a little bit new to this, so I am just going to give you a quick little rundown as to how this series works. I have found a movie that I have never seen before, and I'm going to watch it for the first time ever, and I'm going to record my reactions to it. I am naturally going to edit. I'm going to edit this down because it'd be really boring to just watch me, to just watch me watching something for. See, this film's an hour and 14 minutes. It would be a little bit dull for that. But once I actually am done reacting to it, and once I finished watching it, I'm then going to give an instant review based on what I just saw. All right, and tonight's film is a little gore flick from Germany called Violent Shit. A whole lot of people have actually told me about this movie, and I have done everything in my power to avoid every single review and video clip and everything else I could possibly find. I want to go into this thing completely blind. In fact, the only thing I saw was a clip of Violent Shit 3. Yeah, believe it or not, they actually have sequels to this thing. So I'm going to watch it for the very first time. You guys are going to see my various, reactions to it, and afterwards I'm going to give you a review. Now, unlike last time when I actually had the movie and I downloaded it and I watched it on my 360, I couldn't find an actual downloadable version of Violent Shit. However, I did find it on a website called Mega Video, and if you guys absolutely have to watch this, I do have, I will provide the link for it in this video's description. So you guys can just kick back, relax. We are all about to, or you guys are going to witness my reactions to Violent Shit. So, why don't I get this thing started, and let's just see exactly where, this goes. Wow, we're about 30 seconds in, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, this whole thing has just been warnings in multiple languages. Basically saying that this film is for adults only. I actually am not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but let's just keep this going. Okay, so obviously the budget for this thing was really, really low, because this actually just, wow, it just looks like some, like home movies with some really shitty, late 80s digital effects on them. This is really starting to look bad, guys. Please pray for me. Thank God the credits are over, and that kid just smiled at the camera. This really wasn't a professional film, was it? Well, it can't get worse. It just can't. Wow, so this victim's got blood that looks kind of pink. No, seriously, if you guys happen to watch this, you'll see that that blood's got like a pinkish tone to it. However, though, just to say, the, gore effect for that kill was pretty good. Wasn't really a fan of the Looney Tunes iris out on it, but still, it's not too bad, I guess. Well, at least it's got a fairly good soundtrack. I'm not quite sure if the mic can pick up this, but yeah, that is UB40's Red Wine, and before anybody mocks me, yes, I like that fucking song. Well, he's having a hard time ripping her, blouse. This is... seems almost like something... Okay, wait, is that supposed to be a nipple? It's like really blurry. I can't quite tell. I believe it is. Yeah, folks, the film has... I guess that counts as nudity. And wait, what the fuck? Oh, God. He lopped off her... Oh, man, he lopped off her breast, and apparently human breasts are hollow. And they spray a lot. Well, guys, you learn something new every fucking day. Okay, what the hell is that guy's dick doing out of his pants? And why the hell is this weirdo chopping it off? Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm right now, guys, about 22 minutes in. Is there ever going to be a plot in here, like, at all? Ugh, man, that's just wrong. Hooray, we have another death to a character who doesn't matter and more pinkish blood. I have a question for anyone watching this who happens to live in, Germany. Do you guys actually have, like, pinkish blood instead of, like, the red blood that every other person on the planet has? Otherwise, it's kind of an oversight. So, we go from a redneck in the woods hacking up people to a kid in his basement talking to Satan. I am not kidding you guys. Once again, you actually are free to try to watch this thing whenever, but the fuck's going on here? And another really, really, like, spray-filled, crotch mutilation. This is getting kind of boring. I totally understand that I've already said that, but it's just getting worse now. Well, guys, you know what? If a fucking plot does not build up in the next 23 minutes, I'm going to be kind of pissed. By the way, yes, there's only about 23 minutes left in this horrible thing, so I believe I'm going to make it. And our killer is now hacking at someone who's crucified. There's even more pink, spraying blood everywhere. I swear to God, this movie has all the subtlety of a fucking atomic bomb. Okay, again, we have a fairly decent song, but it's just been footage of driving down the road for the last 3 minutes. I'm having a Manos the Hands of Fate flashback, folks. That's a horrible sign for any movie. You know what actually would have made this movie a hell of a lot better? Perhaps maybe if the deaths were quick. That actually is like one of my biggest issues here, guys, so far. I am 1 hour and 5 minutes in, and almost every single death has been drawn out and drug out. It takes forever, and it gets really fucking dull. And I'm going to assume that the film is almost over. Now he's ripping himself apart. The blood is still pink. The blood is spraying like a goddamn fire hose. And they're still doing that bizarre fucking, like, posterizing effect. It's getting kind of old. And the film ends with him giving birth to some baby thing. And since Mega Videos told me I've watched 72 minutes of video today and the movie's only 1 hour and 13 minutes, I'm going to assume that the last minute is credits. So, why don't we begin talking about this film now, since I'm not going to get to finish watching it. That's, I guess, sort of a good thing, but then again, what the hell could possibly happen in the last 60 seconds to make up for the past hour and 12 minutes of crap I just had to suffer through? First of all, I will say this, I'm going to have to amend something that I said earlier. Earlier I said I really enjoy gory films, and I do. However, there is a rule to that. You can't just have solid gore with nothing else, and that's exactly what violent shit is. It is mountains and mountains of gore with absolutely no plot, no structure, and no characters to actually care about outside of the psycho who rips himself to pieces and gives birth at the end of the film. I cannot begin to explain how absolutely idiotic that is. Earlier I also mentioned Manos, the Hands of Fate. This film suffers heavily from that, and if any of you are actually dumb enough to go and watch this thing, mind you, you are going to miss out on the last minute of it, unless you want to wait a half an hour, because, well, Mega Video is run by a bunch of dicks. you are going to see a ton of scenes just drug out, and it's not just death scenes. It's driving scenes. There actually is one scene in a fucking church where it just shows the ceiling and the camera just rotates. And it does this for like 3 minutes. It is just absolutely insane. I do not see any reason why anybody would actually want to watch this thing. But hey, apparently this film was popular enough to warrant 2 sequels. And I doubt I'm ever going to watch those sequels. I actually care about my brain a little bit too much for that. But one of the biggest crimes with this film is exactly how it was edited. Not only are there numerous really bad jump cuts. I'm talking jump cuts that make the shit that Angry fucking Joe do look tame. Not only does the video just violently jump, but so does the audio. The music will literally just sort of hitch for about a second. It sounds really, really weird. And they have this fucking posterizing effect. I'm actually going to show you guys what it looks like here. I want you to imagine a movie where over half of it looks like this to varying levels. Actually, to points where you can't even tell what in the hell is going on because the lighting is so horrible because they tried to use natural lighting for films. And while natural lighting works for something like this because it's stationary, you can't really use natural lighting with movement. Otherwise, it doesn't look right. And not only does it have this bizarre posterizing thing, I'm getting kind of sick of looking at it right now, everything also strobes, and it looks absolutely hideous. It basically looks like somebody got one of those early 90s editing setups you would get in fucking middle school. I mean, I got it in fucking middle school. And I got to sit there and, dink around with it. And they just went nuts, and they just fell absolutely in love with the posterize effect and the strobe effect, and it just doesn't work. In fact, it's just painful. It's painful to look at. But yeah, I personally, though, cannot really say that this movie was the worst thing I've ever seen, partially because, early on I actually did happen to get a chuckle out of the fact that the blood is pink and that every single wound gushed like a fucking fire hose. And then it grew tiresome and boring when the entire film is nothing but murder with these horrible pink fucking sprays of blood out of every single cut, and absolutely no plot or structure to push it forward outside of there's a redneck in the woods killing people. So yeah, if you guys absolutely want to watch it, like I said, the link is right there. Just go ahead, click on it, and enjoy. I don't know why in the hell you would want to watch this thing, but, who knows? Perhaps maybe you guys might actually get a little bit of a kick out of it. And with that, we come to the close of this reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I'll see you all in the near future. Peace.